Hello everyone. We have seen that sound, like light, also reflects. The laws of reflection of sound are exactly like those of light. We will study about a consequence of reflection of sound, echo. Imagine you're on this magnificent mountain. You are at the peak and you can see the ground covered with snow. What if you yell out your name? What will you notice? You will notice that the sound remains a little longer after your voice has stopped. The sound that lasted a little longer is called the echo. If you go into an empty room and speak, you will hear echo. This occurs due to the reflection of sound. Let's study this in detail. The sensation of sound persists in our brain for about zero point 0.1 seconds. So after a sound has stopped, we will hear it for zero point 0.1 seconds extra. When I finish this sentence, you will hear it with a lag of zero point 0.1 seconds since your brain will still feel the sensation of my voice. The time interval between the original source and the reflected one must be at least zero point 0.1 seconds. After your brain has processed the sound coming from the origin, only then you will be able to hear the echo. There is also a minimum distance between the source and the reflected echo to be heard. If you stand in an empty elevator, you will not hear an echo because the dimensions of the elevator are smaller than the minimum distance. If we zoom on this man on the peak, the distance between his voice and the so-called echo is the same. We will introduce a little mathematics here. We know that sound travels at a certain speed in a medium at a particular temperature. To calculate this, we will take the speed of sound in air at 22 degrees Celsius to be 344 meters per second. We also know that the time interval between the source and reflected sound must be at least zero point 0.1 seconds, or else the echo will not be heard. We know the formula for speed, distance by time. So when we have to find the distance, the formula will turn out to be speed into time. So the minimum distance must be 344 meters per second into zero point 0.1 seconds, which is equal to 34.4 meters. But since we know that the sound reflects and creates two paths, as seen in the diagram, the distance from the source to the so-called wall and its reflection must be equal. So we divide 34.4 by 2. We get 17.2 meters here and 17.2 meters here. Now let's move on to a real-life consequence of echo. Echoes may be heard more than once due to successive reflections. Think of an instance where an echo is heard more than once. We know that thunder is the sound of lightning, but often thunder seems to be heard more than once, even if lightning has struck only once. This is called the rolling of thunder. The rolling of thunder is due to the successive reflections from the cloud and the land. The sound produced by lightning encounters substances like the clouds or the land and can get reflected off of it. Sound gets reflected off solids and liquids. As a result of this, we hear thunder multiple times. Thank you, and I hope you've gained something from it.